just have to do it again later. Over here on TikTok, you guys have audio from this earbud right here, and it works pretty much consistently every single time. But over on YouTube, for whatever reason, the phone that I always use YouTube with has decided to completely not recognize the Bluetooth earbuds that I've been using for the past week. And earlier this week, I think maybe it was last week, the YouTube app just stopped recognizing all external microphones altogether. So then we went back to using a Bluetooth earbud, and that Bluetooth earbud just quit on me today, and I don't know what's going on. But hopefully, there's audio over on YouTube now, and we're gonna move on. We're gonna continue. Let's go. We're doing a whole bunch of hip mobility and side split stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our hip cars. Thank you for waiting oh so patiently while I struggle with technical difficulties. It seems there is still no audio over on YouTube, so I'll just get rid of this microphone off the face, make it a little bit easier. Pull out. Ah! I just ripped the phone off the tripod. Great. All right. We're ready to begin. And we're just going to ignore the fact that the audio don't work. Let's go. I'm going to try and project my voice. So for TikTok people in this ear, it might be a little bit louder today. We are getting into our hip cars. All right, let's go. We're lifting the knee as high as we can, directly up in front. We're opening up that leg to the side. And from here, we're going to rotate and bring this ankle back. We want to hide the ankle behind the knee, all right? Then we want to keep going. Keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating. Bring that ankle up as high as you can, and whoo, we're done. Bring that leg down and back, all right? When you bring it down and back, I want you to flex the hamstrings. I want you to flex the glutes. I want you to stretch here in the hip flexor, and that on the right side for a total of 40 reps on each. And with that, we're ready to begin. Let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep the core nice and tight. Try to limit the hips from moving too much, all right? If you dance and you like, that's great. It's just not what we're doing right now, all right? Stick your hands out. Hold on to something like a wall for balance if you need it. We're ready to begin. Let's go. High knee. Bring it a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Open up that hip to the side. Whew. Try to keep these hips in the same spot as much as possible. Rotate that ankle up. Rotate some more. And bring the leg down and back. Oh man, my hamstring just cramped. Bring that leg down and back. If your hamstring is cramping, you can try to extend the leg straight instead of doing a little hamstring curl. All right. From here, we've done first rep. Let's go. Number 2, high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. If you're wondering why my hamstring's not cramping anymore, it's because I'm not flexing my hamstrings nearly as hard. It's not because I don't feel it. You get real tingly right here. Real dangerous, and then I keep going and it stops. 6, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 7 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 8 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 9 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, that's 10, is that 10, are we done? Oh, man, my hamstring needs a couple seconds. I'm going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch, give it a chance to relax, and let's get right back into more hip cars. All right? Other side. Let's go. We'll bring this knee up as high as we can. We're opening up that leg directly to the side as much as possible while keeping the hips still. We're rotating the ankle up, horizontal first, and then up some more, and up some more, and up some more. Imagine lifting the ankle as high into the air as you can behind you. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexors. And that is 1 rep. We're doing 9 more. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open up. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. I'm losing balance a bunch, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to use the wall. All right? High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back, high knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 9's last one, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. Whew. That is 10 hip cars going forward. Shake out your legs, shake, do a little wiggle with your hips, and we're gonna get ready to go backwards. All right, we're gonna do 10 in reverse on each leg. What I want you to do is to be extra careful about protecting your spine. All right, when the first thing that we do is bring the leg down and back, we tend to put a little bit more pressure into the low back. We tend to go, whoa, stick that leg really far back, and then start arching here in the back. All right, when you do enough of that, it actually kind of looks like torquing. All right, and when you do it too much, when you do it too intensely, you can start making your low back ache a little bit. We don't want that. So the way to prevent that is, one, not to let your back arch, or also maybe not to try to lift your leg nearly as far back. All right. To keep your back from arching, all you have to do is keep that core nice and tight. Maybe almost arch your back the other way, a little bit around your back, and that should give you enough core bracing to keep your back stiff. All right. Let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Extend your arm out for balance if you need it. And let's begin. Bring this leg back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. Try not to go into this position where your back is arching. And that's our beginning. Lift that leg up to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. That's one rep. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 3. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 4. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 5. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 6. I'm going to do a couple facing you so it's easier to mirror if this is your first time on live. Core tight. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 7. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 8. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 9. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 10. Oh, oh, that is 3 of our 4 legs. We got one last hip to do. Take a second. Breathe. And let's get ready to get into it. Again, we're keeping the core nice and tight. We're trying to keep our bodies upright while we bring the leg down and back. All that stretch should be here in the hip, not in the low back. All right, let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5, 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Breathe. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Oh, man. All right. You think these would be easier after you're doing for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days. That is our first warm-up exercise. We are done with our hip cars. Again, those are all about getting your hips more mobile by making you stronger, by using your muscles to force yourself into crazy positions. All right. Whew. We're going to move on into something a little bit more chill. The second warm-up exercise that we're going to do is called the elephant walk. And it looks a little bit like this. We're just going to fold at the hips, bring your belly buttons down into the ground. You're going to have a slight bend in the knee if that's a little bit more comfortable. You're going to keep it relatively straight if you prefer. And we're just going to chill here for a second. Breathe, exhale, relax, and chill. You have a tight low back. You should be feeling a nice gentle stretch to help you relax it. And Hopefully, over the next couple of seconds, we'll be ready to continue. If you are feeling the hamstring stretch start to build as you relax and fold into that stretch, I want you to start bending one knee and straightening the other leg, okay? And then bring the belly button down so you're really feeling that hamstring stretch. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna switch the knee that's bent and switch the knee that's straight, and we're gonna keep on switching back and forth. The whole time I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down towards the ground. All right, that's it, let's go. Bend, other leg, keep going. Whew. You should feel this in your hamstrings, that's normal. You might also feel these sort of kind of in your butt right here. That is because your hamstrings become tendons, and your tendons attach to the bottom of your pelvis. When you're folded over like this, it's probably right here where they attach to your body. So if you're feeling a tension right there, sort of in your butt, that is probably why. That is where your hamstrings finally finish and attach to your skeleton. Whew. The other place you might be feeling a little bit of funkiness is in your toes. There's a thing called nerve stretching, nerve flossing, nerve stretching, nerve flossing, nerve gliding, and they're basically all slightly different words for your nerves are moving around in your body when you're stretching your muscles, and that causes the nerves that are getting the most stretch to get a little tingly, and that's that tingly sensation you're feeling. For the most part, it's fine. All right, keep going. A couple of more reps. Focus on bringing that belly button down just a little bit deeper. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on back up into standing. Pop into a bit of a squat beforehand, and oh, we're back. That is our second warm-up exercise. From here, we're going to do a little bit of thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is between your neck and your low back, and it's pretty much kind of in this space in your body. It's designed to move really well, like bend to the side, bend to the other side, rotate, rotate, pull backwards, round forwards, and most of the time, us normal folks, we're not using most of the mobility in our back very much, and some of the consequences of that include your low back getting a little bit achy. You might be wondering, if I'm not using my upper back, why is my lower back getting achy? It's because the low back is kind of the weakest link, all right? And they're very vulnerable. They're not designed to move very well, so when they move a little bit, they get way achy, way uncomfortable, okay? And so when your upper back and your hips both don't move particularly well the way they're supposed to, all of that burden starts getting shared by your low back. That is why your low back oftentimes can start hurting, and you'll be like, what did I do? I did nothing, absolutely nothing. Why does my back hurt? So, what can you do about that? You can train your back, your upper back, and you can train your hips to move a little bit better, and that might help with your low back. This isn't me promising that will fix everything in your low back situation, because I have no idea what problems you got. But moving better up and down around your back is going to make a lot of things a lot easier. Okay, so let's get into some thoracic rotation. What does that look like? We are going to get into the same position we were just in before. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, and we're folding our belly button down into the ground. Boom, like so. From here, we're going to take the arm on the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to help push against that leg to rotate and open up our chest. Whew, we're going to reach the other arm into the air. I want you to try to reach that arm as far back as you can. I want you to look at the hand. So your neck is also rotating. I want you to breathe in, exhale. On that exhale, try to reach a little bit further. Woo. That is half a rep. We're going to do 5 of these in total. Take your time. I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast. Because at the end of the day, I do a lot of explaining. I try to make sure everybody feels welcome, everybody knows what's happening. And because I talk so much, you got plenty of time to catch up. All right, let's go. Other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This arm from the bent leg side is reaching across the body to the straight leg, pushing against that leg to help open up our chest up into the air. Breathe. And that is our first official rep. Again, we're doing 5 of these. We got 4 more. Let's go. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. Bent arm, straight leg. Push and open. Open, 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 open. Open, side. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg, open. Breathe and reach. And come on back. That's 2 reps. We got 3 more to do. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg, open. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Look at that hand. Your neck is still working. Exhale. And that's 3 part 1. Other side. 3 part 2. Whew. Remember, we are folding forward and bringing our belly buttons down towards the ground and then rotating. So make sure you don't sleep on that part. All right. I think we just did 3 reps. We got 2 left. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg, open. Open, 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 open. Open some more. Breathe. Oh, that's 4. 1 more on this side. Oh. That's 4 part 2. And our final rep. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Exhale and reach. Oh, other side. Last one. That is our thoracic rotations. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. Your shoulders over here, these things, probably feeling quite tired. You never reach that far back behind you ever. And if that's the case, that's okay, because we don't have to use those anymore for anything else. So you can just go, ugh, and let those arms swap. All right? We're going to move on into our next and final warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. You do not have to do anything just yet, unless you're a regular and you know exactly what's going to happen and you just want to do extra reps. Then you can absolutely jump in. What we're going to do is open up our legs. We're going to try and do basically a deep squat on one leg and a side split on the other leg. We're going to get as low to the ground as we can. Feel that stretch in the legs, in the ankles, in the knees, and the hips. We're going to bring our hips over to the other side. We're going to squish, we're going to stretch, and then we're going to come back. That's it. That's the whole entire thing. But that whole entire thing, for most people, is going to be really hard, really challenging. So what we're going to do is we're going to pre-stretch our ankles, our hips, our knees, so we can get into the best Cossack switch that we can, all right? What I want you to do, if you're still standing, is join in now, because you can follow along. We are going to pop into a squat, and then we're going to fold our chest down to our knees. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. I want you to lean forward. I want you to have your heels off the ground so that your Achilles tendon is holding you up, supporting you, and I want you to fold into a little ball. Okay? From here, we're preparing, and we're chilling. Breathe. Exhale a whole bunch of air in your lungs. And once you're getting a little bit comfortable there, we're going to add a little bit of movement. All right? Start gentle, start nice and easy. And as you realize you're comfortable, or maybe not, you can adjust. All right? I want you to shift one knee forward, the other knee forward, the other knee forward. Keep on going. I want you to do a little wiggle in your hips. See if that feels okay, if that feels all right. I want you to point one knee out to the side, the other knee out to the side. I want you to do a little dance. And everything's feeling all right, feeling okay, then keep going. If something feels too intense, feels a little painful, feels uncomfortable, feel free to stop and not do that for a little bit. All right? Once you hung out here for a little bit, we're ready to begin our Cossack switches. What I want you to do, I'm going to scoot over to the side so I have room to do this, is stick your hands straight down into the ground. All right? Nothing fancy. We're not going way over there. We're not going back here. We're going straight down. Next, we're sticking one leg out to the side, like so, so that heel is down. And we're going to put this heel down on the ground as well. We're going to be doing a lot of movement from side to side, so what we want most is stability. When this heel is down and your whole foot is down, that is going to be the most stable foot position. Okay? So, from here, once your heel is down, try and get low, get compact, get into that deep squat position. If you're not super flexible just yet, it's absolutely okay. It's part of the process. We all have to start somewhere. Stay as low as you can, and we're ready to begin. If you're a little bit more flexible, you've been practicing for a while, you can go a little bit deeper, great, awesome. Whatever your situation, whether you're up here or down here, our next step is to get our butts over to that side, okay? So I want you to use your hands if you need them, and help walk your hips over to the other side. Ooh, my ankle just cracked, and it was super loud. From here, we're gonna sit, we're gonna squish, we're gonna get compact. We're going to exhale, and we're going to try and get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Then we're going to put our hands down. We're going to walk back and do the same on this side. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these together. And yeah, enough to get started. So let's go. Again, we are in this position. Foot is down, heel is down, get as low as you can. And let's begin. Bring our hips over. Put your hands down, use your hands if you need them. We're over on the other side. Sink into it, squish, come on back. That is 1 rep. Keep on using your hands for a little bit of support. Stay low, stay controlled, sink into that stretch. Try to sit back if you can, and keep going. That, I think, is number 3. If you're feeling like you're strong enough to not need your hands, you got the balance figured out, feel free to skip the hands. That's 4. Keep going. Squish, sink deep into that stretch. Breathe, and keep going. 5. Keep going. 6. And 6. If you're feeling real strong, you feel like this is easy for you, you can try to sit up a little bit straighter. Imagine there's a little string sticking from the top of your head into the ceiling like your spider web, dangling from the tippity top of your head, and try to straighten out that spot. All right, stick your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance and keep going. Across and back. That's 7. You don't have to do this if you're not quite ready, you're not feeling it. You can keep your hands down on the ground the whole entire time. This is 8. For our last 2, let's talk about what happens if your knees are starting to get a little bit achy. All right? If your inner knees, right here, are feeling a little bit weird, you can focus on coming up first, coming across, and then sinking down into that stretch. Then up, across, and sinking down into that stretch. That is going to help take some of the tension off of that inside of your knee, because it's probably from this movement, the transition in between, that you're feeling that pressure to begin with. So if you go up, across, and then down, it should help a little bit. All right, last rep, squish, get deep into that stretch, and let's finish up strong, across and down. That is our 10 Cossack switches. We're done with our warm-up. If that sentence scares you, because you're like, that's the warm-up. Don't worry, this is a live side splits and hip mobility show. What we just did was make sure that our muscles, our joints were warmed up so we can get into some really good stretches. Most of the cardio looking stuff, the reps, those are done. So don't worry about it. We're going to move on into our 5 stretches. All right. The first stretch is a hamstring stretch. So I want you to go grab a little bit of cushioning for your knee. The way we set up this stretch is we drop one knee down on the ground, and we extend one leg out in front, and we fold our belly button down towards that thigh. Okay? This does not have to be a fancy mat. It does not have to be a fancy piece of foam. You can use your dog bed. You can use a couch cushion. You can use a decorative pillow. You can use old flip-flops. You can use shoes you don't care about. Just stick your knees right on top, squish into them. A little bit of padding is all you need. And you can even use dirty towels, dirty laundry. Roll it up, stick it on your knee, and we're ready to go. So, if you're ready, let's begin. We're going to drop both our knees down into the ground, right next to each other. And we're going to take a quick look, straight down. I want your body to go straight down, all right? Don't want too much other stuff going on. And when you're ready, extend one leg out in front. From here, I want you to be very cautious about how far you're pushing this leg out. All right, I'm going to change the angle slightly so you can see what I'm talking about. If you get into this position and you're suddenly going, I think I can go a little bit deeper into this stretch, and you start sticking one leg way out there and you leave this leg back here, and you're like, I'm doing a front split, I'm a total badass, please chill just a little bit. The reason for that is because your hips are getting twisted, your whole body is going all over the place, you're feeling the stretch in your hamstrings, you're feeling your hip flexor, you're feeling a lot of places now. That makes it hard for you to focus on the hamstring stretch, which is our focus right now. So instead of reaching out, try to suck that leg back in so we can focus on that hamstring. Okay? That will also make it so that we're all having the same experience and not having slightly different experiences across a bunch of people. Let's go! Knees down. Leg is extended, folding the belly button down towards that leg. There's our stretch. Well, this is an easy version of our stretch. From here, what I want you to do is breathe. I want you to grunt. I want you to groan. I want you to let out as much air out of your lungs as you can on that exhale. Go. Drape your body over that leg. We're trying to get into a deep hamstring stretch, but we also want to relax as much as we can to promote that muscle chilling out so we can fold a little bit deeper. All right, once you've been here for a little bit, we're going to do an inhale, exhale, fold. It's very descriptive because that's exactly what it is that we're doing. We're going to take a big breath in on the inhale, and then we're going to slowly exhale. As we exhale, we're going to try and fold the belly button, very specifically the belly button, down deeper into the ground. Okay? That's what's coming up next. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down. And when you've run out of air and your belly button doesn't want to go any further, your hamstrings are going to be super tight. Chill for a second. Breathe. Relax. Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the glutes, relax the low back. If your hamstrings will relax at all, great. Breathe. Drape your body over that leg. If you are actively trying to smash your face into your knee right now, if you're feeling your neck, you're feeling your upper back, a lot of tension there, you're working too hard. This stretch, the hamstring stretch, comes from the angle of your hips, where your belly button is. The closer your belly button is to your thigh, the deeper that stretch will be. So focus on that. Everything else, that's just you working way too hard. So relax, flop over and breathe. All right, ready? We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. That is intense. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. 29, 28, 27, 26. Like I said earlier, your toes are relaxed, your feet are relaxed, your calves are relaxed, your glutes, your low back, and then finally your hamstrings are as relaxed as you can be. Breathe. If your hamstrings are feeling super intense, you can't focus on anything else, stick your fingers into your hamstrings, massage them, poke them, prod them, and just genuinely distract your brain from how uncomfortable the stretch is. And I forgot to keep counting. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Oh, coming out of the stretch. Bring your leg back in. Breathe. Relax. And we're going to switch to the other side. Drop both knees to that starting position for a second. Whew. Stand up straight. Oh, and let's go. Other leg. Extend the other leg right in front. Fold that belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold some more. Breathe. And let your body drape over that leg. All right? From here, we're going to keep breathing. We're going to keep chilling. We're going to keep relaxing for just a little longer. And then we're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. Okay? So, inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, fold. We're in a deep hamstring stretch. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your glutes, relax your hamstrings if those are relaxed, and breathe. Drape your body over that leg. All right. That is our first inhale, exhale, fold. We got one more to do. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Again, let your body drape over that leg. If your knees are getting a little achy, getting a little uncomfortable, you can give them a slight bend. That'll take a whole bunch of pressure off of your hamstrings, will take pressure off your knee. You can focus on bringing your belly button and your abs and then your chest down towards that leg, and then straightening out that leg at the end. All right, that will keep your knee pain from coming until the very end. Cool, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep on breathing. Don't hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Again, massage those hamstrings if you need it. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Whew. If your legs are feeling tired, that is totally normal and okay. Chill, relax for a second, regain some composure after all that suffering, and we're going to move on into stretch number 2. What we're going to do next is called the butterfly stretch. I recommend that you sit with your back up against the wall. I'm going to sit on this mat because my floor is a little bit slippery, and a couple of days ago when it was still really cold, my legs were slipping. But now that I'm slightly sweaty, maybe I won't have that problem. It'll just be sticky. But I'm going to stick with the mat because I don't want to experiment and find out that I'm wrong. So when your butt, your low back, your mid back, your head are resting against the wall, we're ready to begin. What I want you to do is bring your feet together. And I want you to pull your feet in towards your groin. Okay? Your knees should pop up. It should look a little bit like this. If you're here, we're ready to continue. The goal of this stretch is to stretch out the groin muscles here in the center of your legs. The way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. And I want you to always get stronger while you do this. So I want you to use your muscles to pull your legs into the ground. Those muscles in particular are your outer thighs and your glutes. Okay? So get back into that position. Put your feet together, pulled in towards you. Focus on clenching those glutes. Focus on pulling your knees down into the ground. And if you are new to this show, you haven't quite figured out how to do that just yet, it's absolutely okay. Just focus on feeling the stretch here in the groin, in the inner thighs, and focus on looking at if your knee just goes down a teeny, tiny little bit, okay? Whew. Once you've activated those muscles and you've tried your very best, we're ready to move on. Tip your hands, push them just below the knee, and drop those knees with some hand power. Breathe. Whew. Open up the legs. Open up the legs some more. Open up the legs some more, and we're ready to hang out in this position. When you're here, you might feel a whole bunch of pressure in the back of your head and in your shoulders. That is because when your hands are pushing your legs down, your shoulders are also pushing your back into the wall. So if you're feeling that pressure in the back of your head, that's normal. It's okay. Everything's fine. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If you have been holding that contraction in your glutes and your outer thighs, relax them. 13, 12, 11. As you relax them, see if you can push your arms a little bit deeper into your legs. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3 seconds. Contract those muscles again so you can go deeper. 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax everything. Whew. That was our butterfly stretch. Hopefully, your knees went down closer to the floor for a little bit there, and you're feeling very proud of yourself because that is everything we got for the butterfly. We're ready to move on into our third stretch, but before we do, I want you to just double check that your wrists are feeling okay. When you push down on your legs the whole time, they get a little tired sometimes, so you can do a little T-Rex handshake, all right? Next up, your legs should be able to come up and down and flap like little wings on a butterfly. If your legs are feeling a little bit stuck because you were contracting your muscles for so long, the other muscles forgot how to work, you can grab your knees, you can give them a shake, go, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do, And that should help wake them up and get them ready for some flapping. And when your legs are moving, everything's feeling a little bit better. We're ready to continue into our third stretch. Standing pancake. You can get rid of the cushion. You don't need it anymore. Give it a nice gentle throw over there. And we're ready to go. For the standing pancake, I want you to stand. And then I want you to open up your legs to the side. If you are feeling like there's a little bit of tension here in the hip, you're feeling like it's not so comfortable, feel free to bring your legs in just a little bit until that tension goes away. Next, we are folding, bring our belly button down into the ground. Okay? We're going wee, boom. Here we are. This is our starting position for the pancake. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs, nice and wide. We're folding our hips down. And we're trying to bring our belly button to the ground. The goal of the pancake is to go from here to boom, flat, completely flat. All right. It is a crazy hard stretch, and it requires an insane amount of flexibility. And for most of us, it's just gonna be not possible. So we want to do the version where gravity gives us the most help. All right. And that version tends to be the standing pancake, where your upper body is as close to horizontal as possible. That is when you'll feel the most leverage here at the hips, and you'll suffer the most. From here, if you want to suffer more, you can extend your arms out above your head so that your biceps are by your ears, and make sure to breathe. That should bring you a little bit deeper. If you're ready for more suffering, you can hold something in your hands and you can reach out in front and you can breathe some more, and that should drop you down, getting you into a deeper stretch. If you feel like your face is a little too close to the floor for comfort, if you feel like you're falling forwards and you can't figure out what to do about it, I recommend you stick your butt back behind you. All right, so right now, our ankles and our butt are pretty much in line. If you stick the butt back and you extend your arms out in front, that should help counterbalance, and you should probably get a little closer to horizontal, right? Before our face was down here, but once we scoot our butt back, our back comes horizontal. I said the word back a whole bunch of times to mean different things. So as long as you understood that sentence, we're good to go. From here, we got all the information we need to begin. And the only thing left is to remind you that if your legs can go a little bit wider and deeper into that stretched side split looking position, take advantage. Go ahead and do it. All right? We're ready. Get stable. Stick down. Fold. Fold, fold, fold. Fold. Fold some more. Breathe. Fold. And if you're too close to the floor, stick that butt back. Extend your arms out in front of you. Let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. By the way, if any part of this is way too crazy, way too exhausting, you don't have to do any of the hard stuff. You can bring your legs back in a little closer. You can take your hands, you can rest them on the floor with maybe a finger, maybe your whole palm, and that is all good. If you're feeling strong, if you're feeling excited, you can keep doing the hard stuff. Whew. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. Oh, woo. Your legs are feeling really stuck right now. That is okay. That is very normal. What I want you to do is try to wiggle your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels in towards each other. And this might take a second. Toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. And slowly push off your knees. Do a little bit of a squat. Come back into standing. Oh, that is your standing pancake. If you're feeling like, wow, that was crazy, I don't understand how that is so wildly uncomfortable, I'll explain it to you. Don't worry. There's two main stretches in that pancake that you're going to be feeling right now. The first one is the hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings attach behind the knee, below the knee, to the bottom of your pelvis. So anytime the bottom of your pelvis comes all the way up like this, you're going to be feeling a stretch in your hamstrings. It doesn't matter if your legs are together, if your legs are apart, if your hips are going wee and folding forward, you're going to be stretching your hamstrings. And those guys are probably a little grumpy right now. The other place you're going to feel the stretch is in your inner thighs. All right. We talked about this as the pretty much final instruction there. Widen that stance a little bit more if you can. Right. These muscles, they're designed to contract and pull your legs together or a little bit past center. What we just did was the opposite of that. We stretched them out, and then me and my poor counting skills forced you to stand and hold that position for a really long time. So not only were they stretched, they were also contracting to keep you stable. And that is oftentimes why your legs don't want to come together and you're doing a little toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and it's taken like 10 years for you to bring your legs back together. Now that you know why your legs are suffering, I want you to know that it's actually really good for you. Okay? These muscles that we're strengthening in the adductors, when your brain recognizes how strong they are, they're going to let you chill and hang out in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper side splits. All right? So while the suffering is intense, the rewards are deeper stretches. Okay? It pays off. It's not a waste of time, I promise. We're gonna move on into our fourth stretch. It is called either the pigeon or the figure four. If you're a regular, you can hop into whatever one that you like. And I'm pretty sure we did the pigeon yesterday, so today we're doing the figure four. I explain one in detail, and every day it changes. All right, but there's a lot of similarities between the two. That's why you can do either or. They both look a little bit like this. We're taking the leg, we're crossing it above our other knee. We're going to grab that leg. We're going to bring it up to our belly button, and we're going to fold our belly button down to that leg. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. The goal here is to stretch out this set of muscles in the hip. This is technically a glute muscle, okay? And you might also feel it in your hamstrings. You might also feel it in the outer thighs. You might also feel it in the hip when you're folding forward. Those are all relatively normal, okay? We're ready to begin. Let's get into the figure four. The figure four we do lying down. So if you've been dying to just stop and go to bed, here is your chance to not fall asleep and suffer extra bad because you really want to close your eyes. All right, so lay down. Ooh, ooh. Oh, this is nice. Ooh. All right, don't fall asleep. Cross your leg over to the other side. And we're going to reach our hand through the triangle we just made. Whoop. Around to grab the knee of the other leg, and we're going to pull that leg in towards our chest. Woo-hoo! You might be feeling an intense hamstring stretch right here immediately, and that is okay, that's fine. But it is likely that you'll be able to go much deeper than where you're at right now. So what I want you to do is breathe. On the exhale, I want you to pull that leg in. Pull a little bit. Chill. Breathe again. And pull that leg in. Oh, that stretch is building. Again. And once you've pulled in the leg a little bit, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. If the other knee, right here, this one, is feeling a little achy, you can palm it, grab it, and give it a little bit pull of its own. And that should take off some of the pain in the knee. 18, 17, 16. You might also notice that you can actually pull everything deeper into a stretch, pull your whole entire leg towards your chest a little bit more easily after pulling on the knee directly. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Oh. Drop the legs to the floor. Let your hips relax. Let them drop to either side. Grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Let the low back relax a little bit as you let your legs drop. One more. And back. All right, that's enough relaxing. relaxing. Any more relaxing, I'm gonna fall asleep, and that's not good. So let's go ahead and start doing the other side. I'm gonna spin back around. You don't have to move. You can just bring your leg to the other side. Boom! Cross that leg. Reach the hand through that triangle. Reach the other hand around. Pull that leg in, and try not to fall over to one side. And I'm gonna rotate back for you guys, and we're gonna get ready to inhale, exhale, pull that leg in. Ready? Exhale and pull. Woo, woo, woo. Ah, feel that stretch in your glutes. Inhale, exhale, and pull. Woo, woo, woo. Ah, breathe a normal breath. Ah, one more. Inhale, exhale, pull. Ah, all right. Now that you're deeper into that stretch, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. Remember, you can always cup that knee for a little bit of extra relief. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax that hip. Whew. Drop the leg. Exhale. Let the legs drop to the other side. Whee. Other side. Again. And let your back relax. That is our fourth stretch. We are almost done, everybody. There are 5 stretches to this show, and we have just finished 4 of them. But I got some good and bad news. The 5th and final stretch is actually 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. If you've never been on this show before and you're like, 3 rounds, don't worry. Everything's cool. I'm going to explain it as we go, and you will not be left behind. All right, let's go. Come back up into standing. I'm going to adjust this earbud. It might be loud for a second. And we're going to start by talking about safety, okay? If you've never done a side split before, which is totally okay, which is totally cool, I want you to know that at some point we'll be in this position. Our legs will be wide, and our hands will be on the ground to support our body weight. And when you're here, we're going to be wiggling, we're going to be shaking, we're going to be moving, we're going to be adjusting, we're going to be trying to get deeper into our side split. And if you are standing about 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, it will help you stay safe. You're probably wondering, why would standing in front of the wall do anything? That's crazy. I'll demonstrate. When you're wiggling, when you're shaking, when you're trying to get deeper into the stretch, you're trying to bring your butt back to, get deeper into that stretch. At some point, it is highly likely you'll start losing balance. You'll have gone way too far back, and you'll be like, oh, snap. And you start swimming through the air, and then you're going to fall. But because you're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, your butt will rest against the wall. Everything will be fine. You just do a little hip thrust. Whew, and you'll be back into your stretch. All right. If you try to do the same thing without a wall behind you, and you're like, I'm getting stretchy. I'm so cool. Da, 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 da. And then suddenly you realize, oh no, your buddy has gone too far back. You start swimming. You're like, no, doggy paddle. Oh, and you fall and you hit your butt and you really hurt yourself. You're going to be really upset. I have completely forgotten to tell you guys this throughout the show, but this is a show about consistency. We come in and we practice side splits every single day at 9 p.m., trying to build a little bit of community, trying to make the suffering that we do a little bit more fun. And if you bust your butt on the floor, it's going to make it really hard for you to want to come back and practice consistency. So don't fall backwards onto the ground, fall into the wall. All right, and this is why we stand 8 to 12 inches before we start doing some side splits. Whew. For most people, that's about 1.5 footsteps in front of the wall. And with that, we're ready to get into some actual side splits. Let's go. I'm gonna actually get some of this stuff out of the way so I don't trip. Let's go. We're opening up our legs nice and wide after we've stood about 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. From here, we're gonna go as deep as you can. If you are feeling a pinching sensation here in the hip, it's getting a little painful, you've gone too far. You can stop and you can bring the legs back in just a little bit. All right. When that pain, when that sensation is gone, we're ready to continue. Next up, I want you to focus on your belly button. I want you to fold that belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold some more. And I want you to put your hands down on the ground, if you can. If you cannot reach the ground, I recommend you elevate your hands a little bit. If you want, you can use a yoga block. If you want, you can use a stool. If you want, you can use a coffee table. You can use a chair. You can use the footrest area of a bed frame, that foot area of a bed frame. You can use whatever you can to get yourself stable and comfortable. Okay? From here, we're going to do the most important part of our entire show. We're going to rotate our leg backwards so that our thigh bone does not smash into our hip bones, so that that pain we're feeling here when we're standing up straight doesn't happen ever again. All right? It's not ever again, as in like your hips will never feel pain again, but we'll never be in a position where the bones smash into each other because we have undone that part by rotating our leg. Okay, cool. Let's go. We are rotating this leg back 90 degrees. Right now, our feet are flat on the ground. Our knees are kind of pointing forward. All right. What I want you to do is rotate that leg. Boom. So that the knee is pointing up, the toes are pointing up, and the heel is down. This puts quite a little bit of pressure on your heels. So if you need to pause, get something to put under your feet for a little bit of support, go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, on the other side, we gotta do the same on this leg too. What I want you to do is rotate that leg so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. Once you are in this position on both legs, we are in a side split. All right, you might not be really deep in your side split, but you are in a position where your bones aren't going to hold you back. The only thing holding you back is the length of your muscles. All right, so from here, if you're brand new to the show and you're like, this is really intense, I can't continue, please take a break, chill, hang out here where you're at. If you are regular and you got a little bit more experience, or maybe you're just a little bit more flexible, let's keep going. We're going to wiggle from side to side. We're going to push one leg out, and then push the other leg out, and then push the other leg out, and then push the other leg out. Feel free to adjust your hands and adjust your stool, wherever it is that you're holding on to get into a more supported position. And keep on moving. Push out that leg just a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit until you can't go any further. At this point, if you started 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, you might be resting your butt on the wall right now, and that is good. That's what we want. We're going to treat the wall like a little bit of a stool, a little bit of a chair, and take some pressure off of our leg muscles. That will help us to relax a little bit. Okay, so lean back into that wall. Keep on shaking, keep on wiggling, and see how deep you can get. At this point, if your butt is against the wall, the top of your head should be kind of pointing up into the ceiling, all right? And your knees should also be pointing up into the ceiling. That is what we want. Once you're in this position, you don't have to flex the foot, you don't have to use these muscles as hard. So what I want you to do is relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings. If those are relaxed, relax your glutes, relax your low back, and just exhale. And see if you drop a little bit deeper into that stretch. If you did, great. Do it again. And see if you get a little bit deeper. Here we go. That's our stretch. 30 seconds. We're holding this position. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Feel free to do a little bit more wiggling. Feel free to breathe and exhale. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. We're walking our hands forward. Walk them, walk them, walk them. The further you walk them forward, the easier it will be to pull your legs in underneath you and get into something that resembles a kneeling position. Oh, man. Whew. That is our first side split stretch. And if your legs are feeling crazy fried right now, that is absolutely normal. What we're going to do next is we're going to come back into standing, nice and slow, shake out some tension. We just put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, into our muscles. And what we're going to focus on now is relaxing them as much as possible so that we can get into an even deeper second side split stretch. All right? So When you're ready, come back into standing. Feel free to grunt and groan and waddle around like a drunk penguin as much as you like. Just make sure to not fall. All right, let's go. We're going to shake out some tension. What I want you to focus on is relaxation. All right, and I want you to focus on your ankles first. What I want you to do is stand on one leg, and I want you to sort of flick the other leg out. Try to relax that ankle and shake it out. We don't want you to be flexing the foot and pointing the toe and slowly using all your muscles to make that move. We want it to be flappy. We want it to be loose. We want you to be shaking it all over the place. All right. The reason why we care about this is because once your ankle is doing whatever it wants, all those muscles that control what your ankle is doing, all of them up here below the knee, are going to be relatively relaxed, and that's what we want. So shake out that leg, give it a kick, give it a flick, and wiggle, 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 wiggle. All right, we're gonna do the same on the other side. All your weight is in one leg, shaking the other. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flap, 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 flap. You don't have to be super aggressive like I'm demonstrating. You can just give a little gentle shake. You can shake forward and back. You can shake side to side. You can sort of do some crazy circles. If your knees are hurting, you're probably shaking too aggressively. Okay, you can chill and relax. It's about relaxation. It's not about maximum craziness of your ankle. It's fun, but you don't have to focus on that. All right. Next, we're gonna get up into the hips. What I want you to do is stand. All of your weight is in one leg. Big toe of the other foot is down on the ground. I want you to bend that knee a little bit. All right. What I want you to do is rotate the leg in, rotate the leg out, rotate the leg in, rotate the leg out. Notice that the only thing that's moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your hip muscles. All right. The upper body, the other leg, the hips itself, they are not moving. What we're doing here is building a little bit of control with our muscles. And as you gain control, as you get more comfortable with this, you can start picking up the pace. You don't have to do this right now, but as you get more comfortable over time, over the next couple of days, or the next couple of weeks, you can start picking up the pace. Faster, 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 faster. We're bending the knee right now just to make sure you can see exactly where your rotation is bringing you. As you get more comfortable, you don't have to rely on that. You can straighten out the leg a little bit more. You can lean a little bit more to the side, and you can shake a little bit faster. All right. As you get more comfortable shaking out the leg, you'll get to a point where your whole entire thigh is relaxed, and you're just sending it flying around like it's made of jello from side to side. Right? And it's gonna look like this. That is what we want. It's gonna help relax that whole entire leg, and we're ready to move on to the other side. So one leg is straight, the other leg, big toe is down on the ground. We're starting with the in, out, 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 in, out. As you get more comfortable, you can straighten out the leg. You can go a little bit faster. You can shake, you can flop, you can wiggle, and you can help relax those thigh muscles so they're just flopping all over the place. And hopefully, the legs are relaxed now. If you need a little bit more, and you're like, Ken, you spent so much time on this like crazy advanced thigh shaky move. What about for everybody else? If you want, you can add in some other fun stuff like some stanky leg. All right, we're still working on the hips. We're still working on movement, and we're still having a little bit of fun. Okay, so hold it. Now we're ready to move on to side split number 2. Let's go. We're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. For most people, that is 1.5 foot steps. We're opening our legs nice and wide. If you are feeling a pinching sensation in your hip, you've gone too far. And you can bring your legs in just a little bit. From here, we're focusing on the belly button. We're folding it down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, 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 fold some more. And if you can, I want you to put your hands down. If you cannot, or you just don't want to, feel free to put your hands into a chair or a stool, a yoga block, some textbooks, coffee table, whatever it is. Okay? From here, we're going to do the most important part of this whole life. We're going to put our legs in the right position. Right now, I want you to drop your hips a little bit deeper, if you can, into a side split stretch, looking there. All right? And then I want you to rotate the legs so that we are in position, and our bones are in the right position. All right? Right now, our knee is kind of pointing forward, maybe up at an angle. And what we want to do is rotate that whole leg backwards 90 degrees so that the knee is pointing straight up. All right? It looks like this. Boom! Knees up, toes up, heels down. And we got to do both sides. Boom! Knees up, toes up, heels down. From here, we're ready to continue. This is our side split. If you're feeling a little bit more flexible than that first go around and you're already sliding a little bit deeper into the stretch, awesome. If you're feeling real tight and you're stuck, that's okay. You don't have to push any harder if you don't want to. All right, do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can push each leg out just a little bit more. Break that friction, holding your heel back. And if you want, you can sit back against the wall just like before. Relax the toes, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings, relax the glutes. Breathe. And see if you can sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. Now, this time around, we're going to walk our hands forward a little bit. We're going to try and keep the same angle that you have with your hips. We're going to walk the hands forward just a little bit so that your knees are kind of pointing up at a diagonal and your head is also pointing up at a diagonal. All right. This is going to change the stretch so you feel it more in your adductors, the inner thigh muscles. We need these to be nice and stretched out for the side split. So that's what we're doing. Hold 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Feel free to do a little wiggle from side to side so you can get a little bit deeper. Make sure your knees are locked out and straight. Don't go bending them. That'll put a whole bunch of pressure into your knees that we don't want. All right, 20, 19, 18, 17. If it gets too intense, you can always walk your hands back and you can sit in that position we were in earlier where our butt is kind of resting against the wall. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We're done. Walk your hands forward. Oh, drag your legs in, back behind you. Oh, pull your knees in. Come back into a kneeling position. Sit on the floor, relax, whatever you gotta do. That is our second side split. We got one more to do. And in between, we gotta do our relaxation. So, when you're ready, if you're ready, come on back into standing. Whew. Let's go. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. This is a judgment-free zone, and more importantly, I can't hear you anyway. So, let's go. All your weight is in one leg. We're shaking out that ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. I really need to sneeze, but it's not coming out. And I keep on holding my nose to see if I can get through it. And as soon as I touch the nose, it's like it never existed to begin with. So I don't know what's going on. But if I sneeze in a little bit, it'll be very loud, and you will hear it. So now you're prepared. You've been warned. Shake out the other ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And once your ankles are relaxed, your calves are relaxed, you should feel the difference. And we're ready to move on into our hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe, the other foot is down, rotating leg in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. As you get more fast, as you get more powerful, as you get more control over those muscles, which again doesn't have to happen all in one day or in one round. You can start shaking out that leg a little bit faster. You can straighten out the leg. You can shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 and look like you're made of jello. Other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe, the other foot is down, knees bent, in, out, in, out, in, out. Again, this hip is the only thing that, actually the hip's not even moving. This thigh bone, where it connects to the hip, is the only thing that's moving, all right? And it's rotating in and out using muscles in your hips, okay? So we're developing some strength, we're developing some control. And as you get stronger, you don't have to bend your knee as much. You can straighten out the leg. Having the knee bent just helps you see what's happening a little bit more clearly, right? When you're rotating in and out and in and out, it's just a little bit more obvious. But as you get more control, as you get more comfortable, you don't have to do that as much. You can just focus on flopping and shaking and wiggling and jiggling and hopefully your legs are relaxed now. Shake them out. Shake them out some more. You can take that rotation thing that we were practicing. You don't have to have your foot on the ground to do it. You can just lift the leg and still do it. You can combine it with the ankle floppy thing and just do everything all at the same time if you want to. feel free to experiment. Remember, the goal is to relax so that we can get into a deeper third side split, right? So if you experiment and you find a way to relax that isn't exactly following my instructions and you're more relaxed than my instructions brought you, great, do that. And then let me know about it so I can steal it from you, all right? So we're ready to move on into our third and final side split. We're standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. We're opening up the legs nice and wide. And we are preparing to fold forward. But if your hips are hurting right now, you've gone too far, you can bring your legs in just a little bit. When that pain is gone, we're ready to fold. Belly button is coming down. Woo. Hands are down for support. If you can't reach, if you don't want to reach, you can elevate your hands with a little stool, a yoga block, a coffee table, anything that will support your weight and be stable. All right. From here, open up your legs a little bit wider until you're almost uncomfortable. All right. From here, we're going to rotate our legs and get into that not bone smashing into bone situation. Ready? Right now our knees are pointing forward, our feet are flat on the ground. What I want you to do is rotate the leg back 90 degrees. Boom! Heels are down, toes are up, knees are now pointing up. We gotta do both sides. Boom! Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. We're in our side splits. Okay? It might not be super deep in that side split, but that is a side split nonetheless. We're gonna let our muscles relax and see if we can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Breathe. Do a little wiggle from side to side. When you lean to the right, push that right leg out. When you push to the left, push that left leg out and keep going. Keep on getting a little bit deeper. Breathe. If you are able to lean back a little bit, rest your butt against the wall. Adjust your feet as necessary. And breathe. Sit. Relax. If the knees are pointing in the same direction as the top of your head, you're still in a side split position and you're still good. All right? Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your glutes, relax your low back, and sink into that stretch. Exhale a ton of air out and do a little wiggle, see just a little bit deeper. All right? We're deep into that stretch, and we're ready to wrap up. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you're wondering why sometimes we sit with our butt against the wall and sometimes we lean forward, that's because when we sit with our butt against the wall, we get more of a hamstring stretch here in this position. And when we lean forward, we get more of an inner thigh stretch. And we need a combination of both for the side splits because they're not a one muscle stretch. And so we're doing a little bit of everything. Okay? You can feel free to adjust and do the other one if you prefer. And yeah, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. If you're feeling a little bit of weirdness in the hip, and you're feeling not too comfortable, you can try to rotate the legs further back, so point the knees behind you a little bit more and see if that helps. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. We are done. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in behind you. And come on out of that stretch. It's funny how stretches work because the more rounds we do, it tends to be that it's easier to get into a slightly deeper stretch, but it's always harder and harder to get out of that stretch. That is our third and final side split. We've done all the hard stuff. Now it's time to just make sure our body works and our body's relaxed. So come on back into standing. Grunt, groan, wobble like a drunk penguin if you need to. And let's get ready to shakety, shakety, shake. Shake out that ankle. Flop it around. Let it relax. Send it flying wherever direction it wants to go. You're not controlling it. Not at least from the, like from this perspective where you're flexing the foot, you're pointing the toe, or you're doing circles intentionally. You're just shake it out, flop it in, letting it do whatever the heck it wants. It should be moving faster than you would even be able to control if you wanted to. So shake out the other leg, switch. And when your legs are feeling a little bit more relaxed, stand back down and see if you're feeling a little bit more stable. Do a little knee bend, feel a nice calf stretch, and we're ready to continue. All of our weight is in one leg, other foot. That big toe is down on the ground, rotating in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. By the way, if this is starting to feel like dance moves, you should actually turn it into dance moves. We're doing hip mobility, we're doing stuff, and you should make it as fun as you can, right? Because this show is all about consistency. It's about making it fun enough to come back, making the environment cool enough that you want to come back. And if that means you have to do some dancing, you have to do some stanky leg, you should absolutely do some stanky leg. We're gonna do the other side. All the way is the one leg, big toe is down, rotate in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. And of course, if you want, you can aggressively shake your leg out until it looks like your leg is made of jello. Other side. And that should be good. We're going to move on into a couple of quick joint checks just to make sure everything is working pretty good together, and then we'll be done. First thing I want you to do next is hip circles. Whew. Take it nice and slow. Breathe, chill. Woo. Go through as much range of motion at your hips as you can. If anything feels really tight and tender and tense, you are going to spend a little bit extra time hanging out in that position. See if you can help it relax. All right, after the side splits, typically my left and right side of the hips are quite tight, quite tender, so I like to spend a couple seconds there. And I have always a tight low back, so I can spend a half second or so right here. Whew. Out of the back, relax. Next, we're gonna do a quick high knee. 1, 2. If your knees pop up, everything is good, and we're ready to continue. Next, we're gonna hop into a squat. What I want you to do is bring your feet relatively close together, right underneath your hips, and try to come down into a squat. You can open up your legs a little wider if that's comfortable for you. From here, what I want you to do is bring your chest down to your knees. Okay? And I want you to focus on pushing your knees forward just a little bit past your toes. When you are in this position, your toes should be working real hard, gripping into the floor. And if you're gripping hard enough, the arch of your foot should also be activated, cupping that ground, making fists essentially, hoping that you will stay balanced and not fall over. Okay? That's good because we want that Achilles tendon working real hard. We want your calves nice and tense. You can poke them to double check that they're working hard. And we want your quads working overtime to keep you stable. And from here, we're going to put your hands down if you need to. If you don't need to, great. We're going to come and do some calf raises. Come up onto those tippity toes as much as you can. And if you need a little bit of assistance, your ankles are feeling wobbly, try to balance your weight between your big toe and your index toe. That should help your ankle go straight up and down instead of off to the sides. All right? To demonstrate what that means, I'm going to face you guys. If you focus your weight in between your big toe and your index toe, your feet should come more like a straight up. If you try to balance it between the whole entire 5 toes, it will start going out a little bit more. And you don't have to do that many of these. If your calves, your quads, everything is just feeling like it's time to give up, you can stop anytime. All right? What we just did was force our toes to work really well with the arch of our foot, make our feet work, our Achilles tendon, our calves. We put some pressure on that knee, on the quads. We folded at the hips, forced our low back to hold us together while we did some really intense calf raises, right? So if you're able to pull off most of that stuff, it's a pretty good sign that your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, they're working pretty well together. And with that, we're ready to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and practicing consistency with me today. I haven't said this that many times today, I think, but we just wrapped up, I think, almost 80 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, so we started 80 minutes ago. If you're in a different time zone, you're like, what are you talking about, 9 p.m. Eastern? You can go subtract 80 minutes from whatever time you're at, all right? And we do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to try and make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like the idea of moving a little bit better and you need help with consistency, then this is the place for you. You should keep coming back at 9 p.m. Eastern, 80 minutes ago, but in the future. And is that everything? I think that's everything. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. Cool. All right. I spent a lot of time not looking at the chat, so now I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna try and look at the chat and see if I can respond to questions and comments. So if you got any, if you said something really early in the beginning, feel free to send it back through again while I look through and see what I can do to help. All right. Ugh. I'm gonna grab my chair. I don't want to kneel. My knees are unhappy with me. Kneeling on the ground. Whew. All right. User 13247 says, "Thank you, Ken. Very helpful." You're very welcome. Thank you for being here and thank you for letting me know. Conobug says, "These hurt, but thank you for the lives," and sends a bunch of lovely crying emojis and heart symbols. Thank you so much. Linda says, "Thank you so much." Kat says, "Done." Thank you, Ken. You're very welcome, Kat. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Kat sends a whole bunch of cool emojis of Benji the dog and Ken. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? Ooh. Margaret sends a heart. Thank you, Margaret. Welcome to the show. I think this might be your first comment. I don't think I remember the username. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Ministry of Efficiency says, "At trouble with Roxy." Thank you. So I wonder what Roxy answered. Where we going? Where we going? Where we going? Stretching. Oh, okay. Giving some background to the live. Awesome. Thank you. I've been doing this live for, I think, close to 500 days ish. So that'll give you a ballpark-ish number. Let's see. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Keep scrolling, 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 keep scrolling. If you're ever wondering why I scroll for so long and it looks like you have no comments for me to possibly be scrolling this long for, is because as the owner of the live, I get a whole bunch of different other notifications. I promise it's not because my thumbs don't work and I can't read. And Yays sends a whole bunch of thumbs up. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Chase is welcome. Amazing. And Bunny God of War says, "And then I joined." I wonder if that is the second part to a message. No, I think that's the only thing. Bunny says, "And then I joined." Okay. Welcome, Bunny. Let's see. I think we've reached the top. Oh, wow. Okay. Super quiet chat today. All right. I'm scrolling all the way back to the bottom and we will get ready to wrap up soon. Lotus sends some nice emojis. Timona says, "Thank you. I love stretching." Beautiful. Sushi asks, "Do you do lives in the morning?" On the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Right now, I'm doing the same exact show, but at 9 a.m. Eastern, right? I don't have a regular morning show because I have a day job. So until I can figure out how to monetize this in a meaningful way, I'm going to continue having a day job, and that means I'm probably going to have a difficult time doing a morning show. So we'll see. But Travel to Roxy responds with 498 days. Thank you for doing the math. I appreciate it. Ministry of Efficiency asks, "Is there a picture of where we started and where I am at now in the side splits, a progress photo?" Sort of, kind of. I started over on Instagram. And so if you go find the Instagram account, Splits on the Side, it's the same username on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can go scroll all the way bottom or to the oldest reel, I guess, oldest piece of content that I posted, and that would probably have somewhere in it proof of where the side split started. And I mean, I do my absolute best pretty much every single day. So whatever you saw today and you think is the side split, that's where I'm at today. So you can see the contrast. Cool. Let's see what else we got. Ministry of Efficiency says, "Feels like I'm not progressing. LOL." That is totally 100% normal. There have been whole months where I was like, did I make any progress? I don't know. There could be a lot of reasons. One of them is maybe you're not recovering quite enough. And maybe you'd benefit from taking a day or two off and then coming back so that your body has a little bit more time to recover, so that you have time to let your nervous system reset a little bit. Yes, that's the major one. The second thing you could be doing could be that you think you're pushing real hard and you're not really pushing that hard, or you're pushing so hard all the time that your body just never chills out. All right, those are kind of conflicting and kind of opposing to each other when you hear it, but uh, that's the reality of it. If you are spending all your time going 100% as deep, as intense as you can, it tends to be the case that it's not going to be as effective as if you took a couple of less intense days and you took a couple of more intense days and you took a couple of less intense days and you took a couple of more intense days. Your body's not always going to be perfectly ready for a super crazy intense day. So if you feel like you're having a 50% day, give it 50%. You don't have to push yourself to nail that side split today. And as long as you're showing up, you're putting in the work, making the effort, it's plenty, 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 plenty. All right. Additionally, we do this live every single day. And Ministry of Efficiency, I know you've been on every day for several days now, at least in the comments you have. A lot of working out actually recommends that you take rest days in between, right? For the sake of this show, for the idea of reinforcing consistency, this show is every single day. And that is a lot of the time because I know if I break the streak and I start taking days off, I'm going to be much less likely to stay consistent and I'm going to lose track of my bigger goal because I took some breaks. So, for me, I know that in order to continue making progress, even if it's a little bit slower, I need to make sure that I show up every single day. And that might not be the case for you. There is definitely other ways to train your side splits. There's definitely other ways that will feel more productive. If you Google like the most effective way, the best stretches, you'll hear something about PNF. I forget what P stands for, but the N is neuromuscular and F stands for facilitation. And P and F usually you can Google real easy and it's fine. That style of stretching requires you to contract your muscles real hard to trick your nervous system, to trick your brain into relaxing a little bit so that you can get into a deeper stretch. Um, Typically, using that style of stretching will build a little bit more strength and it will help you get results a little bit faster. But it is a much more intense form of stretching because you have to contract your muscles, right? So you're going to be experiencing soreness as if you just worked out. And it's going to require you that you take more rest, right? So if that is going to throw your consistency off because you're going to like take a couple of days off, then you're going to get back into it, then you take a couple of days off, and then, that's going to cause issues, then try it once and then come back. But if you figure out that PNF is more effective and you can stick with the schedule, then that might be the thing that you should absolutely try. Again, here on this live, my goal is to make sure that we all practice consistency, right? If you've built the habit, it's become a part of your life, you've built the systems, you're showing up, you got the alarm set for 9 p.m., and you can do this without any problems, feel free to let me know, and maybe we'll have a slightly different show. And that show won't be this time. It'll be some other time because I can't have them overlap, right? But this show is designed for most of us, where if you take a couple of days off, you're not coming back. And we try to make the show very consistent, happening every single day. We try to make the content very similar so that you're not learning a new workout. You're just getting in, doing your business, and then you can hang out for the chat if you like at the end, or you can just move on and hang out and do whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day, right? So that's the dream, that's the mission. And I've been doing some version of this show for about 500 days. A lot of months it was to a very, 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 very tiny audience on Instagram who I got to know really well. And then Instagram changed the rule and said you can't go live anymore without 1,000 followers. So I was like, oh, okay. And I started on TikTok and YouTube. I think it's been about 8-ish months since we transitioned to TikTok and YouTube. And it was August, and now it's April, so it's about 8, 9-ish months since we started doing live on TikTok and YouTube. And so, okay, maybe 7. I'm getting a lot of feedback over here from IT being upset about my math skills, and so quite sassy. So we have documented YouTube proof from 7 months ago. I think Ministry of Efficiency was asking about like, do you have proof of your progress. You can hop back to the first YouTube video and see that. And that will be the most exact show that we've been doing this whole time, proof of where we started and where we're at now. I'm pretty sure 7 months ago I was much worse. That's the short of it. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna wrap up with the chat. Let's see. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. I always forget the proprioceptive. Swigline says, "Hey, just got home and caught your live. Wanted to say hi. Thank you for coming in, Swigline. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you tomorrow." Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What else we got? Ministry of Efficiency says, "Thank you." Sushi says, "Just want to thank you for reminding me of how awesome bear crawls are from one of your videos. Amazing." That bear crawls video wasn't posted in a while, right? It's kind of old. I'm glad the algorithm is sending you good stuff that's a little bit older. Awesome. Because that means I can work less and you still see content. Win. Swigline says, "Oh, thank you." Win mod, W mod as always. Thank you. Oh wait, that's not me. That's Trouble with Roxy. I guess today's my rest day. Birthday celebration wore me out. Amazing. Congratulations. Happy birthday. I'm glad you took a rest day for your birthday. You don't have to prove your consistency. Oh wait. Oh, it's not your birthday. It's your little sister's. Well, I'm glad you celebrated your little sister's birthday by taking a day off your workout. That's fine too. I understand. I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. This account is called Splits on the Side. There's two reasons why it's called Splits on the Side. Okay, one of them is because we're doing side splits, and the other one is it's not your main thing. All right, we're trying to make sure that you're staying doing the thing. You're not so invested that your body is beat up and you're impossibly suffering as you try to recover every single day. We're trying to make it so that you have something that you can stick to that helps you get to your goals and is something that you do on the side. We're not bodybuilders. We're not trying to compete at crazy events. It'd be cool if we were, but we can't all be trying to be the next Mr. Olympia or whatever. And fitness has to exist for everybody else too, right? That's the goal. That's the spiel. And we are 90 minutes deep pretty much into the live. So I'm gonna take a quick look over on YouTube and see what's up. Owen asks if I can do a backflip. On a really good day with some spotters, I can definitely do a backflip. But it's been a while since I've done one, and I'll just tell you now, I'm very hesitant to send my body flying backwards. Because if I fail, I can't do this live every day anymore, right? So I can't give up that consistency for a quick dopamine hit. Blessed Divinity, Blessed Divinely says, "I'm late. What is this routine good for?" Welcome. Queen RRR talked about lower body hip mobility, and that is exactly what we're doing. So don't worry about it. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. So you can come back for the next day and just hang out tomorrow. The live is incredibly similar every single day. I try to tell slightly different jokes. I try to make up something new every once in a while. But for the most part, the show, the exercises are the same every single day. So you don't have to worry if you miss a day. If you do miss a day, however, you can go back and rewatch the recording. And that is posted over on YouTube. The username is @splitsontheside. The comment I'm responding to is on YouTube. So it will be really easy for you to go check that out. If you need to, go into the profile. There should be a playlist called Live Sessions. That's where all the live recordings are stored. Thank you, YouTube, for hosting hours and hours and hours of footage that almost nobody watches, because I don't want to pay for that. So thank you, YouTube. All right. I think we are basically done there. Yep, Zanab says, "Very good explanation of lower body mobility." Thank you. I appreciate it. And Dana does yoga. Ooh, got a yoga expert over here. Says, "Yay!" and sends some hands. All right. I think we got one last comment over on TikTok and we'll be done. Swigline says, "Always satisfied with the vibes in this live. Very chill and encouraging." That's what life should be about. There's enough negativity. There's enough guilt tripping about your health, and we don't need any more of that. So here we are. Keeping up the good vibes, try to make fitness, stretching, mobility a little bit more fun. And if you've enjoyed the live, make sure to keep coming back. We're live at 9 p.m. every single day. That is an hour and 34 minutes ago. That's when we started. All right, whatever time that is for you, that time tomorrow, that time the day after, that time the day after that, for a long, long, long time to come. based on how fast I'm getting these side splits for a long time to come. We will be here doing some side splits, doing some hip mobility. So come on back and let's go. All right, that's it. Actually, no, wait. I have one favor to request. I recently posted a YouTube video, and by recently, I mean today. If you don't know this, because you joined this pretty recently, I had been traveling for a really long time, and one of the places I hung out in quite a bit was in Bangkok, in Thailand, and I like to go and find cool places to work out. So what I did most recently in this video is give a little tiny bit of a review to a whole bunch of places to go work out outside in Thailand, in Bangkok, for free. And mostly they're all in public parks, and some of them are awesome and super cool. If you're thinking of traveling to Bangkok at any point and you're like, I have this strange intellectual curiosity about what fitness parks look like in another country, please go check out that video and see what I've posted. And if you got questions about traveling to Bangkok, feel free to shoot me a message because I got lots to say and lots of advice. Anyways, that's it. That's the live. We are ready to wrap up. Oh, also, if you have an intellectual curiosity for that stuff in general, traveling and working out, I've also done a little bit in Japan. I've done a little bit in Malaysia. Just randomly go into a park and going, cool, I'm going to make a video right now. So some of it is going to be a little rambly. Some of it is going to be a little bit weird and awkward because I just kind of decided to do it. And when I get better at it, I'll get better at it. So that's that's all I got. We're wrapping up for today. Thank you, Swigline, for the encouragement. I'm going to close out right now and goodbye. Goodbye. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And now, closing out over on YouTube.